topic, I will explain about how do we know how indirect to be. We have seen that directness is universal in the sense that it occurs to some degree in all natural languages, but that does not mean that we always employ indirectness or that we all employ indirectness in the same way. Indirect to be, there are the main factors are listed, then I will explain to you. First, it is power, then it is social distance, and the third is size of imposition, and the last right and obligation. The general point is that we tend to use a greater degree of indirectness with people who have some power or authority over us than to those who do not. You would probably be more indirect about conveying to your employer that you are annoyed by the fact that he or she always arrives late than in conveying the same to your brother. This is partly because your employer can influence your career in a positive way or a negative way. Then power divided into three classifications. First, legitimate power, then referent power, and the last, expert power. Legitimate power means one person has the right to prescribe or request certain things by virtue of role, age, or status. Referent power, one person has power over another because the other admires and wants to be like him or her in some respect. And the last, expert power, in this case, one person has some special knowledge or expertise which the other person needs. Okay, next section is the social distance. It is best seen as a composite of psychologically real factors such as status, age, sex, degree of intimacy, which together determine the overall degree of respectfulness within a given speech situation. In other words, if you feel close to someone because that person is related to you, or you know him or her well, or are similar in the terms of age, social class, occupation, sex, ethnicity, you feel less need to employ indirectness in, say, making a request than you would if you were making in the same request of a complete stranger. Okay, next about size of imposition. When we talk about size of imposition, we mean how great is the request you are making. For example, you would probably use a greater degree of indirectness in asking to borrow 10 pounds sterling than you would in requesting to borrow 10 pence. And you would probably use a greater degree of indirectness in requesting someone to translate an article for you than in requesting someone to pass you the newspaper. Here's in an illustration. In the illustration, the speaker was my mother. She made the two following requests to me within the space of a few minutes. Shut the window, Jen. And the other, do you think you could find the time to take those invitations to the printers? This dimension is needed in order to explain a situation in which a speech act involving a major imposition is performed with a minimal degree of indirectness. What is important is whether or not the speaker has the right to make a particular demand and whether the hearer has the obligation to comply. Okay, so that's all the explanation in this section. So see you for the next session and bye bye.